Yeah, I will. Let's absolutely begin. So, uh, welcome everybody. I'm Hunt. Um, we have someone with us who needs no introduction, but go ahead and say
Hi,
hi.
everybody. I'm Cyndi.
And thanks for joining us for the launch of our YouTube show, Om Yoga Today. We decided to have a little launch event to sort of formally announce the work and to celebrate a lot of hard work that went into this almost a year ago at this point to make it come to fruition. So we're gonna mark the day with a short talk and sitting practice from Cyndi. It'll transition into a yoga practice, asana practice, also fairly short and sweet. And then we'll have some time to kind of talk about our vision for the show, our Facebook group, and we'll take any questions that anyone has about Om Yoga Today. So I'd just like to formally thank Cyndi Lee for opening up the practice and for offering us these teachings and this talk at this time.
Great. Thanks, Hunt. And I want to thank Yoga International for partnering with us on this YouTube show. I'm really excited about it, and we appreciate all the support and help that you've given both of us on this project. We also want to let you know that we've organized this a little bit so that we'll have time at the end to chat or have questions to talk about the content of the show if you saw it, and if you didn't see it yet, that's okay too. So let's just begin by finding your seat. Whatever you're sitting on, just move a little bit side to side. If you're on a chair or on a cushion on the floor, it's all good. Just take a moment to close your eyes and find your seat on the earth right now. Let's take a breath in and gather the threads of your attention, and as you exhale, drop into your body. Inhale, gather the threads of your attention, and exhale, drop into your body. And one more time, gather the threads of your attention as you breathe in all the little tendrils of thoughts coming together. And as you exhale, drop down into your body, down into your seat. Let your body settle down. You begin to tune into the feeling of your natural breath, just as it is right now. No big deal. The breath is a refuge that we can always return to. The breath is grounding. The breath is only ever now. So there's no need to make up something else or have an out-of-body experience. We can stay right here. Coming back to the feeling of the breath. Coming back to the feeling of your seat on the earth. And you'll notice that all your thoughts arise, all your positive thoughts, all your dispositive thoughts, they all arise, they come and they go. And you can stay here, settled in your body. You can feel all that is moving in your heart. Joy and sorrow and pleasure and pain and everything in between. And underneath all that is just you. Good as you are. No need to look outside for more or better, or fancier, or extraordinary. Just stay steady on the earth with your own wind energy, your own body, your own heart, and your own mind. This is a good start to anything we might do. And in this way, the best thing that we can give another person, or we could give to the whole world, is our own ability to come back, connect to ourselves, and take a fresh start. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, open your eyes. So the topic of our first episode of our YouTube show is the imposter syndrome, in case you haven't seen it. The imposter syndrome. And, I think that as a yoga teacher, it's pretty common. Or maybe you're an author, or maybe you're a poet, or maybe you're an executive, or maybe you're a fashion designer, et cetera, or maybe you're just a person. And yet we all often have this secret or not so secret feeling that we don't exactly know what we're doing, we don't know enough, or we have a kind of lack of confidence in the value of what it is that we have to offer. And we talked about this in the show in regards to yoga teaching. And sometimes I tell new teachers that I feel that way, and they're like, "You're kidding, you've been teaching for so long." But every time there's a little edge of, can I be enough? Can I be worthy? Can I really give something of value? And in fact, sometimes I feel that way when I'm not teaching, just in ordinary life. All do. We have so many different roles that we play, as partners, as friends, as teachers, as dog mommies, in different places, in different situations, and in different times in our lives. So much changes. And the thing is that all these parts of us are parts of us, but they're only part of us. And all these parts keep changing, and everything keeps changing. Everything and all that is keeps changing. These very popular buzzwords keep coming up, especially in the world of yoga and yoga teaching. And the words are authenticity and being genuine. And there's a lot of pressure around that, or you could feel pressure, and it can feel kind of daunting. Especially if you feel creative, is that authentic? Is that okay? Am I doing a fusion? And so we can get stuck in that feeling of daunting. And so our practice is always there, waiting for us. Instead of maybe figuring out what I have to offer, how I should offer it, how I should act, what I should expect, how I can do the right thing, or what I even know is true, we can always simply connect to how we're feeling. So just right now, close your eyes again and tune in to what you're feeling. Just see what comes up, physically, emotionally. And then open your eyes again. I would guess that more than one feeling made itself known. Or maybe one was prominent and then another one popped up. And that's what feelings do. They come up and then they change. That's all they do. They change all the time. And so our practice is about getting familiar with that. not so much a one thing and holding on to one thing and having that be what defines us or doesn't define us, but getting familiar with the flow of life, the thread of awareness that's always there. Whether, we're having a rainy day in our mind or a sunny day, whatever the weather of our mind or our heart, just be interested in that and in that endless flow. One of my teachers from Upaya, who now has a Zen center in Vermont called the Bread Loaf Zen Center, he talks about this as the slender sadness. The slender sadness. And this is when we start to really recognize this and, deeply in our bones, recognize how everything is impermanent. Seasons and conditions and relationships and opinions and sizes and shapes and memories and goals and flowers and everything arises and dissolves. And when we get really familiar with that truth of impermanence, we can start to understand we don't have to push away any of our feelings. We don't have to push away our fear, our sadness, our anger, our joy, our sense of loss, frustration, uplift, or even love. We don't have to push away anything. We can be big enough to contain all these feelings and to observe how they shift. And there's a beauty in that. And that's really what the slender sadness means, seeing this beauty in all the parts of us. And I think that it also refers to a kind of quality of, wistfulness. Everything passes, everything changes. And of course, this is a traditional view in the Buddhist teachings, is that when we recognize the impermanence of everything, we don't try to hold on, but we do try to appreciate each thing in its time and how precious everything is, even our old bad hairdo or our current bad hairdo or our old relationship or our opinions, everything. And when we can be tender like that to ourselves, it leads to compassion, self-compassion for everything that moves through us in all the ways that we are. And this is really so much about what practice means and what practice does for us. It invites us to let go of our storyline. It invites us to recognize our confusion and our craving and our aversion, and to just remember to drop back into the body, drop back into the present, and see what's actually alive for us right now. The tricky part is that we keep forgetting. The Sanskrit word for remembering is sati. And there's a whole sutra called the Satipatthana Sutra. And it describes the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically a practice of remembering to come back. And in this sutra, it says, we practice with thoughts well controlled, not going astray. And this is called establishing presence of mind. Establishing presence of mind. So let's try it. Let's sit together for a few moments of mindfulness meditation. Once again, find your seat. Move your seat side to side and really get comfortable and grounded. If you're sitting in a chair, try to have your feet flat on the floor. Upright spine. Soft front, strong back. Look straight ahead. You can place your palms flat down on your thighs. Just look straight ahead, but not really looking at anything. Just kind of, really your gaze is just a few feet in front of you in space, nice and soft. And from here, tuck your chin and let your gaze come down toward the floor. Again, about 3 or 4 feet out in front of you. And bring your attention to the feeling of the breath at the edge of your nostrils. Place your attention on the edge of your nostrils. The feeling. So we're not visualizing the breath, we're not manipulating the breath, we're not thinking about the breath. We're really tuning into this very subtle feeling of the breath at the edge of the nostrils. And soon enough, you will notice that your mind strayed. And in the moment that you notice that, you've actually come out of that straying mind, out of that thought, and you've come back to now. You've come back to awareness. So you can touch in again to how you feel. And then bring your mind back to the feeling of the breath at the edge of your nostrils. And this is how we start to practice remembering sati. So we'll sit like this for a few minutes. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cyndi, for that talk and that sit. So, hi everyone, I'm Hunt. I know most of you, but hi if I haven't met you before. We're going to transition over to some movement practice now, which will fit so nicely in with the threads that, or the seeds that Cyndi set, and we can kind of see what fruition they can grow to. One of my favorite ways of kind of working with mindfulness practices is through somatic awareness, right? Which is kind of just a fancy way of saying dropping from our head into our body, into our heart. And oftentimes the words for mind and heart can be interchangeable. So I find that kind of a beautiful relationship to explore inside of our asana practice or physical practice. I wanted to do just a little bit of kind of gestural work. I've been thinking a lot right now about how in a way we're all reaching out to each other at this time in the world. And we're also kind of reaching out for ourselves and into ourselves. So you'll see some gestures like kind of clasping the wrists, touching the shoulder, just kind of small little mindfulness anchors. And I hope you can use each one of those little kind of clasp hands or touches just to kind of connect in with that, something that feels very much of the zeitgeist of the moment. So I'm going to shift back onto my mat. If you would like to use any props, you're welcome to grab pillows, blocks, blankets. This will be relatively simple. I'm not going to use any props for this practice myself. So just take a moment to get yourself situated and we'll begin. Just going to scooch back. Okay. So come on and join me here. I'm just sitting comfortable, cross-legged. Sukhasana, you can also place a blanket or a block under your pelvis if you feel a little bit of elevation is needed. Just place your hands just kind of naturally on tops of the thigh bones with the palms facing down. And the moment the hands lands here, just kind of take a second to check in with where your posture is placed today. And I kind of think of posture as our relationship to the spine. So you can connect in down to the two sitting bones, the tailbone, take a little mental journey up this spinal column. You know, we're very frontal people. We don't think about our back body all that often. Can arrive at the space behind your neck and all the way up through the top of your head. And just see what happens if you slide your hands just a little bit higher up than you might place them organically. And you don't have to press down hard. I often hear the instruction is the weight of a nickel, right? But seeing if some down energy in the hands on the thigh bones can create a sense of upwards lift through the carriage of the torso and the top of the head. So already we can explore the relationship between our hands and our thighs, both parts of ourselves. You're invited to drop the chin just slightly. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes. We won't sit here long. A big part of this practice for me is learning to work with my environment. So a lot of us have been in quarantine or shelter at home, or we're practicing home more than normal. So I think it's worthwhile or interesting to just touch into what you're hearing right now. If you're warm, or you're cold. Sometimes your senses are described as the tentacles of mindfulness, right? They reach out into the world and let us experience what's happening around us. It ties right into our acknowledgement of impermanence, right? What we're experiencing right now will inevitably shift into something else. And then just draw that awareness in a little bit closer. You can see what your body is telling you today. If there's physical sensation. And I will just hold this space here in silence for just a moment. If chanting Om is part of your practice or any other opening rituals you like to include, you're so welcome to do that now. Or you can just sit and be with your breath and mind for a moment. We'll just lift the gaze. You can open your eyes and just take in the environment and space around you. Let's move a little bit. Take the breath in, sweep your arms out and overhead. And as you exhale, side bend over to the right. Right hand down, left arm alongside the ear. And keep the outer left hip nice and heavy. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale, side bend to the left. Keep that right hip dropping. Inhale, both arms lift. As you exhale, let's twist to the right. Turn the spine slowly. You can drop your left hand to your thigh, right hand behind you, or place it on your lower back. Take a breath in to sit up taller. Then just deepen the axial rotation and look over the back shoulder. Just twist a little bit further. Stay in the twist, everyone, and just turn your head slowly. You can take in your environment again as you look all the way over the other shoulder. And then just take your right hand, swing it around, and see if you can find your left shoulder blade. Just kind of connect in there. Hi, shoulder blade, how are you? Float that left arm up to the ceiling like you have a question, and then slide your hand all the way up to your wrist. Nice big breath in, pull straight up, and we'll take a little deeper side bend over to the right this time. You're adding just a nice tug. See what those intercostal muscles say on that side. And come all the way back up on the breath in. Little transition, release the hands down slowly. Just tented fingertips, you can lean back a bit and just change the crossing of your shin bones and find your seat. Let's take the other side. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, side bend to the left. And keep that outer hip heavy. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Pelvis stays heavy, so you move from the waist. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, turn the spine slowly left, right hand to thigh, left hand to floor, lower back. Inhale to take a lengthening moment. Deepen the rotation and peek over the back shoulder. Stay in the twist, turn your head slowly all the way to the other side. And then swing your left hand around and just let it gently make contact with that back shoulder blade. Just kind of see what's in there today. Right arm floats up, slide your hand all the way up to your wrist. So it's really tactile. Nice big pull, side bend left, creating just a nice sense of space. Kind of the beauty about slow, stretchy movements is we make more space for more breath. Come on, back up, everyone. Release the hands down slowly, lean back, and come back to the first crossing of your legs. Let's do it one more time, just a little bit faster. Inhale, arms up. So fast, not frenetic, right? Side bend to the right. So here's a chance to practice just moving in space. Inhale up, exhale, side bend left. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And turn a little bit deeper. You can turn your head slowly to the left, see everything along the way. Swing the back arm around to the opposite shoulder, just make a connection. Left arm floats up, slide your hand right up to your wrist, and one out breath, side bend right. Come back up through the middle, release the hands down slowly, lean back, and last time, change the crossing of your shins. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend left. Just let it keep moving. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, lengthen the spine and deepen the twist slightly. You can look over the opposite shoulder. Chance to see the environment. Swing that back arm around, just make a connection, right? Feel your own body. Right arm floats up, slide your hand all the way up to your wrist. Breathe in to lengthen and a little supported side bend or lateral movement to the left. Let's transition. Inhale, come on back up. Release your arms out and down. I'm just gonna slide right over my feet. If you need to come out a different way, you can. And join me on all fours, everybody. Come on out to hands and knees, shoulders over the wrists, tops of the feet pressing down. Sink the spine slowly into cow pose, sitting bones flare up, belly button drops. Reverse the curve, drop the head and round. Inhale, sink the spine into cow pose. Exhale, push the floor, drop the head and round. Let's add on. Inhale to cow pose. Let the toes tuck under. And we'll move right up and back into downward facing dog. I'm going to keep my knees a little bit bent. Push down into the fingertips and knuckles. See if I can flare those sitting bones up. Let's set it in motion. As you inhale, roll forward slowly to plank. Take the whole length of the in-breath. And then exhale right back into down dog. Hips lift, thigh bones pull you back. Twice more. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, hips lift, thigh bones draw back. Now we're gonna add on. Inhale forward to plank. And here in plank, everyone, just lightly tap your right knee and shin down to the floor. So you're kind of in a half plank. Let's spin the left heel down to the mat, pour weight into your right hand, and take your left arm up to the ceiling. And check in with that nice long line of awareness between the two wrists. Externally rotate the left arm and take it alongside your ear, lifting the left side waist. Again, just invite that sense of filling up space, connecting in breath, filling the left side, and feeling the tactile pushing of your left foot in the floor. Let's let that left arm circle down to the mat slowly. Spin your back heel up, tap your left knee down, and just drop back into child's pose. You can widen the knees a little bit, seat to the heels. I find it quite wonderful to let the forehead press into the ground. You can visualize some breath filling the low back space, connecting into the floor. Look out towards your hands and come on back up to hands and knees. Let's take it again. Inhale, sink the spine, tip the hips, look forward. Reverse the curve, push the floor away and round. Inhale, slowly, cow pose. Exhale, push the floor, drop the head, release. One more time, inhale to cow pose. Tuck your toes under, slowly lifting the pelvis, downward dog. I'm gonna check in with straight legs this time. Just feel the hands and the feet, weight of the head and neck, thigh bones drawing back. Let's play a little bit with plank again. Roll forward to plank. So we're letting things unfurl slowly. And then exhale, hips and thighs draw back, downward dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Tops of the thigh bones pull you back, downward dog. One more. Inhale, forward to plank. Now stay here in plank pose and release your left knee and shin down. So you're in this half plank situation. Okay, we're gonna spin the right heel down to the mat, pour some weight into the left hand, and take your right arm up to the sky. Modified side plank here. Externally rotate the right arm and take it alongside your ear, lifting the right side waist up, seeing how much of an arc you can create through that whole right side body. You can really touch into the qualities of your left hand and the right foot on the mat. Circle that hand down slowly. You can spin your back heel up the moment you feel your hands touch and drop into a wide knee child's pose again. Hips sink back. Head drops down towards the floor, lower back nice and wide. And then inhale, come on back up to all fours. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up into downward dog, and let's slowly walk our hands back to our feet. Come on to the back of your yoga mat. You can bend your knees a little bit. Use your hands clasp onto opposite elbows. There's that chance of kind of fostering a connection, right? Holding on to your own arms. Drop your head. You can bend your knees a little bit. Easy lower back and hamstring. Soften the tops of the feet, tops of the shoulders, head, neck, jaw, and throat. And then release the arms down. Keep the knees soft and roll up slowly. See if you can bring that awareness we started with from tailbone all the way up to the top of the head. I call this the adjust your costume moment. And then find your Tadasana. I'm just going to turn towards you, feet planted. And again, just take in the environment and space around you. Let's circle the arms overhead, everyone. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, just like we did before. Inhale, pull up. And as you exhale, side bend to the right. Keep pushing into the left foot. Come all the way back up. You can switch the clasp. Use the inhale to lengthen. And side bend to the left. Good. Inhale, back up. Release the hands, Urdhva Hastasana, a little upwards lift. Exhale, swan dive forward over the legs, Uttanasana, or hanging forward fold. Use the inhale to lengthen the side waist, nice long flat back. Fold over completely on the out breath, drop the head and neck as you fold. Reverse the dive, sweep your arms out slightly forward and up. Hands back to the side of the body. Tadasana, mountain. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Circle the left wrist, think from the down of your feet, you lengthen, side bend to the right. Lots of lateral movements. Come back through the center, switch the clasp, press down into the feet, pull the wrist up, side bend over to the left. Come back through the center, everyone. Separate the hands. Take a breath in to lift. Swan dive forward over the legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen and lift. So really flat back is just a chance to lengthen the side waist. Fold all the way back over your legs. Now use your hands like feet here at the back of your mat. Walk all the way out into plank. Nice tactile connection to the floor. Right? There's nothing kind of more grounding than really just feeling the mat underneath you, the floor underneath you. Hips lift, thigh bones draw back, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and let the right leg float up towards the ceiling a little bit. Left heel drops down. Not so worried about how high it goes. You can push down into your hands. See if some of that energy goes all the way up through the right heel. Let's lightly step the right foot forward in between the hands. You can use your right hand to help you a little bit. Drop your left knee and shin down and point the back toes. Let's slip the hands up to the upper right thigh bone here, right? You can push the top of the left foot for some stability. Engage your gluteal muscles to help, and then take the pelvis forward slowly, just opening the front of the left hip a little bit. You can check in with those hip flexors. We'll sweep the arms overhead. Hey, this should seem familiar. Circle your left wrist. Pull straight up on the breath in. Side bend over to the right. So one more chance to feel that nice long lateral movement on the left side. Can you keep grounding into the top of the left foot, pushing the right big toe? Come on back up slowly. Feel the uprightness of the spine. Float the hands down. If you want to use yoga blocks to frame your foot, you can. Tuck the left toes under and come on up for a low lunge. Just lift that left knee and thigh. Broad collarbones, open chest. Let's dance a little bit between here and pyramid pose. Start to straighten the right knee. Outer right hip steers back. Drop the head and fold. So this kind of mirrors our downward dog to plank sequence. Bend your front knee again slowly. Let your eyes move out into space. Low lunge. Try it again. Straighten your right knee. Fold over. Bend your front knee. Open chest and collarbones. One more time. Straighten the right knee and fold. Bend the right knee. Low lunge. Ground your palms. See if that down energy can step you back into downward dog. Let's roll forward to plank. Take the whole breath in and slow release to the floor. You can tap your knees. Just find an easy and safe way to land. Glue all 10 toenails down. Push the feet and hands to lift the torso up. Low cobra. Keep pushing down, but also squeezing back, right? Can you really feel the ground underneath you? And not just your hands, also in your feet. Let's retuck the toes. Lift the kneecaps up so the legs are active and let that pull you all the way back into downward dog. Last side, everybody. Left leg floats up, right heel sinks down. Again, actually more interested in the leg that's on the ground than the leg that's lifting. Just push down into the hands, breathe in. Nice light step of the left foot forward. You can use your hand to help you if you need a little assistance. Back knee and shin releases down, point the toes. Slip your hand to your upper or left thigh bone. Take a breath in, just find the uprightness of your spine and torso, and let the pelvis move forward. So we're just exploring what comes up the front of the right side. Sweep the arms overhead, circle the right wrist, pull up, nice sense of length. One more lateral movement over to the left. And oh my goodness, the sun is coming out in Petersburg, Alaska, first time in a month. Wow. Come on back up slowly. Release your hands down, connect them to the floor. Back toes tuck under, everyone. Lift the knee and thigh up, find your low lunge. I like to rise up to my fingertips or use blocks so I feel open across the front body instead of congested. Start to straighten that left leg, see what happens. So we're cultivating some sense of curiosity, pyramid pose as we fold. Bend your left knee, open the chest and collarbones, low lunge. Couple times, straighten the left knee slowly, fold over. Bend the front knee, low lunge. And last one, straighten through the left leg, bend the front knee, and stay. Plant the palms, push down to step back, downward facing dog. Let's glide forward to plank. And the top of your push-up, focus forward and on the out breath, lower down to the floor. Ground your feet. Take a second to get organized. Low cobra by pushing down into the hands and feet. And then retuck the toes, lift the knees and thighs, taking you all the way back into downward dog. Let's release the knees down to the floor, point the toes, and let your hips drop back into child's pose. Feel a nice sense of weight, grounding the head. Then just look out towards your fingertips. And you can keep your torso close to the floor. Just slide out onto your belly and turn over onto your back. You can let your head drop down, shoulders drop down. So see if you can feel the whole landscape of the back body and the awareness of what's happening in the breath and in the mind from just a few simple movements. I'm going to push the hands down into the floor, everyone. Draw the knees up and into my torso and extend the legs up to the sky for just a little legs up the wall practice. If you'd like to place something under your lower back, you're so welcome to a block or a pillow. You might need to keep a little micro bend in your knees. Just circle the ankles a couple times clockwise. And change the direction. You can flex and point. You can include the toes, spreading them wide. Just bring that somatic awareness to the bottoms of the feet. And then let the heels go ahead and just drop in towards your seat, a little bend in the knees. And step the feet down slowly, one at a time, to the ground. Let's just finish with a very simple twist here. You can bring the right knee in towards the torso, hug the shin, extend the left leg out long to the ground. Flex the left foot, imagine you're standing. So there's a sense of uprightness, down energy through the left heel to the top of the head. And then just take that right knee across your body into your left hand. Doesn't have to be the deepest twist you've ever done. Right arm extends out to the side. So just want you to really connect into the feeling, the weight of the back of the arm, that open palm, and the long diagonal of awareness from your right middle finger through the left kneecap. Couple breaths here. And slowly untwist, just come on back through the center and exchange legs. Left knee into the torso, right leg out long. You can flex the right foot, push the thigh bone down, draw the left knee in towards the torso. Slowly take the left knee across the body into the right hand. You can extend the left arm out to the side, where we have room for. Palm facing up, turn your head to the left. Again, can you get a sense of length through the back of the left hand all the way through the right knee? So again, we're expanding our awareness in two directions, kind of exploring that yoga, that relationship. Then release the twist, everyone. You can hug both knees into your chest just for a second. A little apanasana or ball practice. I like to rock on side to side, just massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. And then let's release the feet down one at a time and extend your legs out for just a very brief shavasana, letting the legs fall open into their natural rotation, palms facing upwards. You can drop your eyes closed. As you settle into your shavasana, you can just sort of check in with that whole vinyasa, right from that first seat, all of those movements kind of leading to this moment of dropping into the floor. That experience of impermanence, right? A plank turns into a downward dog, into a lunge, finally into a rest. So let's be like this for just a moment. You can just take a few very conscious diaphragmatic breaths. You can feel that dropping way down to the lower abdomen. A lot of us have sort of trained ourselves to pull our stomach muscles in tightly, so relaxing there so the diaphragm can move free. If you would like to wiggle your fingers and toes or slight rocking of the head side to side. And just curling over to your right hand side, you can find a little fetal position. I always like to ponder an early instruction I heard so long ago that laying on the right side might help cultivate cooling and receptive qualities, which is a really beautiful way to finish a practice. And push down into your hands and come on up to sit with us. We'll just gather together for a moment and Cyndi will close us out.
Take a moment to tune into this feeling of sitting again on the earth. Long spine, soft front, strong back. You can keep your eyes closed. We'll end with a 9-part alternate nostril breathing. We're not going to use the fingers. So take a breath in, exhale completely through the nose, and then breathe in through the left nostril for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, right, 2, 3, 4. Other way. Breathe in, right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in both, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe naturally. Place your left hand in front of your chest. Right hand almost touching the left. Breathe in. And as you exhale, bring your palms together. Feel the very moment they touch. And we'll finish our practice with the Brahma Vihara, the dedication of merit. You can join in if you know it. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be parted from freedom's true joy. May all beings dwell in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Let's bow together to complete our practice. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hunt. We have a few minutes and we would love to see if anybody has any questions or comments or anything you want to say, or if you happen to watch the show and you want to say anything about that, we would love that.
So, and thanks so much, Mac, and thanks for everyone for attending. I think Cyndi and I, we've worked together for quite a long time now, and I took my 300 hour from Cyndi and had studied at Om Yoga for a long time, and we had noticed a lot of similarities in our teaching and also the way that we live our lives, and also like to laugh a lot together. So we were like, let's work together and make something for yoga teachers and yoga students and have conversation starters, have episodes on topics that we think about, on things that come up both teaching and practicing yoga, and really for anyone who is trying to just be a little bit more awake and conscious in the world. And so together we kind of came up with Om Yoga Today. And so we partnered with Yoga International and we filmed the first season. And the first episode dropped today, which I hope you'll all check out. I believe YI has been posting the link to it. So it's on imposter syndrome, as Cyndi gave such a beautiful talk on, and we get even deeper into it. Barbara is asking, how often will the new shows be released? I believe once a week is what's happening now. We're also planning on launching our Facebook group, which you can all go and join right now. It's called Om Yoga Today with Cyndi Lee and Hunt Parr. And we're so excited to form a community. We're going to have some super exclusive interviews with people in the teaching fields. We're going to have fun discussions, all kinds of different things, lots of programming to supplement between the episodes. So please hop on, join the Facebook group. It's not just for yoga teachers, yoga students, anyone who is interested in the practice will find, I think, some value there. And we're really excited to share this with all of you. So please let us know if you have any questions. Joyce, if you have a question, feel free to drop. We are not in a rush. So she said she wanted to ask, but thought there was time constraints.
Yes.
Anything you want to add, Cyndi, to the?
No, I'm excited about the Facebook page. So I hope you guys will all join that, because we're going to give you a bunch of free content. And we also are really open to your, what you want to talk about or what questions you have, whether it's about teaching or yoga or meditation or anything, movie recommendations,
all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we'll put up polls and see how we can be. We really just wanted to be of service, and in this time of wanting to connect more with each other, we thought these episodes would be such great conversation starters, and that we would be able to dissect them more. They're only 15 to 20 minutes long, so it's just getting some juices flowing. So we're really excited to flesh out, right? We could probably teach a 200-hour teacher training on imposter syndrome. So, there's so much there.
I know that everybody wants to see my dog. So there's a little bit snoring back there. And there's, I can't find my other dog, Bailey, anyway. Everybody always wants to see my dogs. So Joyce is asking a question. I love life so much, it's hard not to be attached to life. I think that, yeah, of course. We love it so much, we don't, and that is a big practice, is just to be really appreciative of what's happening each day and how grateful you are for every moment without being afraid of it being gone. That's a very advanced practice. In a way, it's the most pithy practice, and it's very simple: appreciating your human life as you have it. But I got to say, Joyce, good luck with that. That's a very powerful, liberated state, to be in. So we do our best.
Right. And we have these practices and teachers to point the way, right? But it's lifelong practice, I would say. Thank you, she says. Yeah.
But there's a teacher at UPI that I work with a lot, Kaz Tanahashi. He's almost 90. And he, every time he gives a teaching that I've been at, he'll say, maybe next year this cushion will be empty. And so he really enjoys his life as it goes, and as it is. Now, I think the perfect question to bring up and to maybe to finish our day today.
Yeah, that's a big contemplation. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If there's no other questions, the link is posted on both Cyndi and I's Facebook page. It's posted in the chat box here. You can watch episode 1 already. It's live. I'm going to also post it in the group shortly, and it'll be really fun to interact and have comments and discussion. Some of the topics are quite juicy, and we're quite excited to share and look forward to many more seasons. And this class will also be available as a replay in the group. It was recorded. So if you know anyone else who might want to enjoy the talk and the sit and the asana practice, please invite them to join the group. And as soon as we have the recording, it'll be posted there. Okay, so I think on that, thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Thursday, and we'll see you soon. Bye from Alaska. Bye, puppies.